Now at 5, we're going to hear from some Vernon County, Missouri residents as they try to clean up following heavy flooding. Plus, the Miami, Oklahoma mayor discusses the log jam building up on the Neosho River in Ottawa County and how the Joplin Public Library is helping people convert their old media platforms into digitized versions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some Vernon County, Missouri residents say the floodwater is receding slowly. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Vernon County is one of the areas hit hard by the heavy weekend rains. The area received between 10 and 15 inches of rain, causing flooding at several creeks and 3 rivers running through the county. County officials say they're dealing with moderate damage to gravel roads, fallen trees, and farmland. Some county roads remain underwater and impassable. Nearby residents say this is actually normal during the springtime.
It started going down this morning. It'll probably be all the way down here in a couple days.
We're going to hear more from residents and county officials on KOAM News at 6. The log jam on the Neosho River in Ottawa County, Oklahoma continues to grow near Twin Bridges State Park. It's estimated to be the size of 2 football fields right now, and more debris is expected to join in from upstream. We spoke with the mayor of Miami, Bless Parker, who says there currently is no plan to remove the jam.
There's really not a whole lot we can do. You know, the accountability falls on GRDA, and GRDA has never been held accountable by our state, by our governor, by our legislators. They've never been held accountable for anything they've ever done, and somebody needs to hold them accountable. They're in charge of this water system, and they need to operate it the way it's supposed to be.
There are also concerns about a BNSF railroad about a half-mile downstream from that massive log jam. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, we got a little bit of a break from the severe weather across the region, but now we have more thunderstorms, which are going to start to roll in at least for portions of the region later on this evening. Tornado watch in effect until Tuesday this evening, 11 p.m. So this is mainly our western counties, Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua. We're looking at Woodson, Wilson, Allen, and also Neosho County. But you can see where the greater threat for severe weather is going to be, especially Emporia up toward Kansas City. But we do have thunderstorms starting to get going. We're going to mainly stay dry over the next couple hours, but you can see a band of storms out toward Wichita, and these are going to drive in. The main threat's going to be gusty winds and also some large hail, but we could get a quick tornado or two, especially in southeastern parts of Kansas. So we need to watch that over the next couple hours as these guys work in. Plenty of chances for thunderstorms this week. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Catching a few. The Joplin Public Library is offering a non-conventional service. Conversion of VHS, vinyl, cassettes, and DVDs to digital. Photos, negatives, and CDs can also be converted in the makerspace. It's an opportunity to relive memories and save them for future generations.
I have of my boys growing up. I have photos too, but I really treasure the tape.
Some patrons that come in and they know exactly what's on this VHS. They've watched it a billion times. They're so excited to have it where they can keep sharing it. But then I have a lot of people that come in like, I found this in a cabinet. It doesn't have anything written on it. I have no idea what this is. I just need to see what's on here and see if it's worth saving.
The Joplin Library Makerspace also has equipment for cutting or engraving a variety of materials, as well as a 3D printer. To make appointments, just contact the library. You can find more information on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. It appears Kansas will not be banning gender-affirming care for minors. The State House last night failed to override Democratic Governor Laura Kelly's veto of the bill. The Republican-controlled Senate had enough votes to enact the ban, but the House was 2 votes shy. The measure would have stopped hormone therapies, puberty blockers, and surgeries for trans and non-binary youth in Kansas. Governor Kelly called the failed override a win for parental rights and Kansas families. Sources say the Justice Department is going to move to loosen federal restrictions on marijuana. Right now, marijuana is considered a Scheduled I drug, which means it has no medical use and a high potential for abuse. Other drugs in that category include heroin and LSD. The Justice Department reportedly wants to move it to a Schedule 3. Those substances are considered to have moderate to low potential for dependence and includes things like Tylenol with codeine and anabolic steroids. Stormy Daniels' former lawyer took the stand as Donald Trump's hush money trial continued today. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. And as Errol Barnett explains, the judge found Trump guilty of violating his gag order.
And I'm going to go into the icebox now.
As the hush money criminal trial of Donald Trump got underway Tuesday, Judge Juan Merchan held the former president in contempt of court, fining him $9,000 for violating his gag order 9 times. Trump has since removed the social media and campaign website posts the judge found violated the gag order. On Thursday, Judge Merchan will hear about 4 more alleged violations and suggested fines may not stop the former president from attacking witnesses and jurors. In a written order, the judge suggested, quote, jail may be a necessary punishment.
The next time there's a violation of the gag order, if and when, I don't think we'll see jail time. I think there'll be a couple of monetary warnings, and then you could potentially see jail time.
Tuesday afternoon, prosecutors called Keith Davidson to the stand, the former lawyer for both Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. Daniels claims she had a sexual encounter with Trump, and McDougal says she and Trump had an affair lasting 10 months. Trump has denied both allegations. Davidson testified there was a bidding war for McDougal's story. Jurors saw texts between him and former National Enquirer editor Dylan Howard. I have a blockbuster Trump story, Davidson wrote June 7, 2016. Howard responded, I will get you more than anyone for it. You know why. Judge Merchan also announced there will be no court May 17th, so Trump can attend his son's graduation. Another son, Eric, was at the courthouse Tuesday, the first family member to attend Trump's criminal proceedings. Errol Barnett, CBS News, New York.
Tomorrow, former President Trump is going to hold campaign rallies in 2 key battleground states, Michigan and Wisconsin. Court will be back in session on Thursday. The FBI is assisting with the investigation in Charlotte, North Carolina, following an ambush that killed 4 police officers. Members of law enforcement were trying to serve a warrant yesterday when the shooter opened fire. 3 of those killed were members of a U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force. The other was with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. 4 other officers were wounded. The suspect was also killed. Still ahead, the rising cost of subscription services.
From streaming to shopping, the average American is spending more than $1,000 a year on subscriptions. I'm Christian Benavides with tips on how to manage and lower those monthly costs.
And next in Health Watch, a warning from health experts about this year's tick season. Topping today's Health Watch, a new study finds multi-drug resistant superbugs hiding on floors, ceilings, door handles, and other hospital surfaces in the UK. Researchers collected 480 samples from 3 general hospitals. They found the highest concentration of superbugs lurking in gender-neutral toilets due to flushing and greater overall use. Doctors at Oregon Health and Science University have identified the first known case of brain disease from fentanyl inhalation. The 47-year-old father who took the drug for the first time while on a business trip last February was hospitalized with brain swelling after losing consciousness. He slowly regained speech and function after 26 days, but has no memory of the episode to this day. Experts all around our country are expecting another busy tick season and urging people to take precautions while spending time outdoors. Madeline Bright has more.
Who's that goodbye? Ricardo Lopez and his miniature dachshund Milo were among the first residents at this South Florida development.
So living here has been a great experience. The floor plan of my apartment is nice.
Lakewood Village is no ordinary apartment complex. It's built out of a new composite material, the first of its kind in the nation. The interlocking blocks that make up the structure are put together like Legos.
Anybody can stack blocks together.
Ken Smuts is president of Renco USA, the company behind the molded blocks, which are a mix of recycled plastic and glass, fibers, resin, and stone. Smuts says all you need to build is a mallet and a glue gun, lowering the cost of labor.
Because it's so easy, you don't need carpenter tools.
This material is much lighter than concrete. It weighs about 8 pounds. A concrete block of about the same size weighs about 40.
Yet Renco says it's structured.
Our apologies. Obviously, that was the wrong story. We'll try to have that correct one for you at a later date. To avoid tick bites, it's also recommended to wear long sleeves and shower after you spend time in grassy or wooded areas. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the Federal Reserve kicks off its 2-day meeting. We're going to look at what's expected to happen with interest rates.
Plus, we have more thunderstorms rolling in tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, we got to dry out just a little bit over the past 36 hours or so, but we do have some more thunderstorms, which are going to be rolling in as we go through the next couple days. It looks pretty good right now. Here's a nice shot. This is our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, tornado watch in effect. So this is until 11 p.m., mainly our western counties. So we're looking at Iola, Chanute, Neodesha, Fredonia, Yates Center. Those are going to be the regions that have the better chances to get some severe weather later on tonight. Most of us look pretty good right now. We have clear skies, not a whole bunch going on. But if you travel west, you can see these storms really getting going just to the west of the I-35 corridor and then stretching all the way down south of Wichita to Oklahoma City. And the main threat overall is going to be gusty winds and large hail. But we are going to have at least a low tornado threat as these get in to southeastern Kansas. So still a ways away, hour and a half, 2 hours from Yates Center, Fredonia, Iola, Chanute. But they're going to be strong to low-grade severe as they work in, and then they'll slowly weaken as they push toward the south into the east. But you can see the severe weather all the way up through northeastern parts of Kansas, also going to affect the Kansas City metro area as well through the night. All right, so here's 7:30 p.m. Thunderstorms getting into our northwestern counties, most likely strong to severe. As we continue by 9 p.m., Fort Scott, Chanute, Parsons, Independence, back towards Sedan. After this point in time, they should start to weaken as they drive into Pittsburgh, Joplin, so I'm not expecting anything too strong, at least through the metro area. And then we just have scattered showers and a few thunderstorms late tonight. So here's 2 a.m. Severe threat is done. And then we have just periods of showers and thunderstorms rolling in late tonight into tomorrow morning. So we're going to start the day on Wednesday on the wet side, and then we'll start to dry out by Wednesday afternoon. The evening looks fine. Next few hours, then thunderstorm chances starting to pop up once again. This is actually just kind of a weak upper level wave, but we're in that time of the year that you can get thunderstorms pretty easily. Another one right behind it, which will affect us by the time we head into Thursday. So scattered thunderstorms tonight, starting the day with thunderstorms in the morning. By the afternoon, we start to clear out, upper 70s for highs. Any thunderstorms tomorrow night will stay to our west. We'll get a few that try to drive in Thursday morning. And then once we get into Thursday afternoon, thunderstorms, very similar to where they're at tonight, will develop and then drive in, a little higher severe threat for all of us by the time we head into Thursday night. All right, rainfall, this is just over about the next 30 hours. The Missouri side, a little bit drier, but the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, some heavier amounts of rain. Let's go 63 in the morning, 69 by noon, high temp of 78 as we get into the afternoon. 77 on Thursday, morning thunderstorms, random shower on Friday. Thunderstorm chances again this weekend and early next week. Tomorrow's first day of May, so it's that time of the year.
I guess so. Not much opportunity to dry out.
Not a lot, no.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, it's called subscription creep. We're going to have tips on how to handle the ever-growing list of subscription services. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Federal Reserve today opened a two-day meeting, and atop the agenda, interest rates. They've been at a 23-year high since last summer, and all signs point to no movement from the Fed. Persistent inflation continues to dog consumers, even revealing its sticking power inside a slower than expected first quarter GDP report. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the Fed is not happy when things slow down and prices remain high.
While the Fed pushed rates up to push down the inflation rate, they did a good job in the beginning. But let me tell you something. Inflation still remains a problem. It's running at 3 or 3.5% depending on the measure, and the Fed wants it down to 2%. So at this meeting, expect a lot of nothing.
There is some good news, though. If you're a saver, you can get a 4 or 5% annual percentage yield on a short-term CD or money market account. Even savings accounts are up if you can lock it in now. A new report finds the average American is spending more than $1,000 a year on subscriptions, everything from streaming channels to shopping sites to gym memberships. And Christian Benavides found out many people are spending so much because of rising costs, and they often forget they even have them.
Like millions of Americans, Robbie Cruz has a number of popular subscriptions and is willing to deal with higher costs.
I want YouTube without ads. I want Spotify without ads. So whatever I need to pay for to have those.
A CNET survey finds 67% of adults have seen one or more of their subscriptions increase in the last year. Johnny Ortega uses AutoPay and admits he might have missed a subscription price hike.
I gotta go back in my statements and check.
The survey also found nearly half of U.S. adults have signed up for a free trial and then forgotten to cancel it.
Those free trials, you get the 7-day, you get the 30-day trial, and then it just keeps going.
Millennials were the most forgetful, 65% of them saying that they had forgotten to cancel a free trial. Boomers were the most on top of it, just 28%.
Nick Woolney is CNET Money's senior editor and says it's important for people to regularly look at their bank and credit card statements.
See what you actually paid for, and then make a decision about whether you want to keep that service, maybe you want to downgrade that service or cancel it altogether.
And many people save money by temporarily suspending streaming services.
If they have 4 or 5 different streaming services that they like, maybe they only subscribe to 1 or 2 of them at a time, and they go on a blitz and they watch a lot of that content, and then they cancel that subscription. You know, at least for now, the good thing about streamers is that it's pretty easy to cancel your membership. It's pretty easy to restart your membership.
There are budgeting apps that will track your subscriptions and alert you of a price hike, but many of those apps also charge a subscription. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Survey also found that 1 in 4 people have canceled a subscription because the price went up. The number of older Americans who are victims of fraud is on the rise. Americans over the age of 60 had roughly $3.5 billion stolen in fraudulent schemes last year. That's an 11% hike from 2022, according to the FBI's Elder Fraud Report. The report also says the average older person who's scammed can lose thousands of dollars. A few thousand victims each had $100,000 taken from their accounts. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, SUVs put to the test. Which ones avoided collisions at higher speeds? Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the flood cleanup efforts in Vernon County, Missouri. Plus, we're going to check out a job and resource fair in Pittsburgh. And the MIAA announces its all-conference softball awards. We're going to see which Gorillas and Lions made the list. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. If you're trying to figure out the best time to mow the lawn because the lawn's going to be just dry enough, well, good luck, because more rain is constantly coming. We don't really get a chance to dry out much.
We really don't. We have another line of thunderstorms working in. Some of these are going to be strong to severe, especially on the Kansas side and weekend as they push in this evening. And then again, thunderstorms most of the morning hours for us tomorrow. So kind of a wet start on Wednesday.
I might just take a machete to my
there you go.
Eventually. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.